Everything in this universe is unique. No two things are ever constructed or manufactured in the same way. No two things wear exactly in the same way, and no two things even break exactly in the same way. So, the branch of the science that deals with identification of the uniqueness in things is forensic science. These distinctive things are detected not only by using the scientific principles and techniques, but also by using your basic common sense. Hello friends, I am Nandini and I am pursuing my bachelor's in this gripping and exciting field. I have just tried to utilize my knowledge to help suspect my family members and investigate about their habits. We have tried to basically demonstrate the basic principles of the fingerprint science, forensic toxicology, and security documents with the help of minimal household products available with us. So without any further ado, let's begin. As we can see, the objects are placed in this manner, where a laptop is placed at the center of the table. On the right hand side, a notebook, blue in color, is placed. Adjacent to the notebook, my phone is placed.
One eternity later.
Basically, I have suspected that this phone is being touched by someone, and there are some fingerprint marks in this. So, for developing the fingerprints, what we are using in the because we have the household substances only, so we are using the turmeric powder. Then it's a paintbrush. Actually, the paintbrush is not used for developing the fingerprints, but here in the household products, we only have the paintbrushes. So we are using the paintbrush, and we are developing. After developing the fingerprints, we will collect it with the help of the tape lifting. Let's get started. So let's take the sample that we are suspecting. Then we will develop. We will take some turmeric powder, just like that. Then we'll put it on the fingerprint sample that we are suspecting of. Do it with the help of a brush. After that, we are using the tape for lifting our fingerprints. So let's try developing our fingerprints with the help of the tape. Just place the tape such that there are no air bubbles in that. So what I'll do is now, because it is hardly pressed, I'll remove this tape. And we'll place this thing on the paper. So this is the way which our fingerprints look like. Now, to find out the real culprit, I had to conduct an investigation for the collection of the rolled fingerprints of my suspects. In my case, the suspects were my mother and my father. So following the collection of the suspected fingerprints, I moved on to the next phase, that is comparing the questioned fingerprints and the suspected fingerprints. And then from my report, I was able to conclude that my phone was being checked by my father. So this is how fingerprints play a very crucial role in solving the criminal cases, as they can be presented in the court of law to serve the justice. Since every person has a unique set of fingerprints, even in the monozygotic twins, the DNA can be same, but the fingerprints vary. So this makes fingerprints to be conclusive evidence. Food adulteration is a very serious problem. So, we are checking adulteration of some common household products. Our first sample is milk. One is the dairy milk and other one is the synthetic milk. Our second sample is honey. Third sample is turmeric powder. Fourth sample is chili powder. For performing the test, I am using a transparent bottle. To substitute HCl, I am using toilet cleaner, a forceps and cotton. We are first checking milk. Let's take our first sample of synthetic milk and our other sample of dairy milk. To check if it's adulterated or not, we will take a transparent bottle. We will add synthetic milk to it. Then we will add water. And we will shake the bottle vigorously. We can see the formation of the air bubbles. And that indicates that this is a synthetic milk and it's being adulterated with the detergent. Our next sample of milk is our simple dairy milk. So for testing its authenticity, we will take the bottle, we will add the milk, we will add water to it. We will repeat the same procedure again and shake the bottle vigorously. We can see that there are no formation of air bubbles. That indicates that this milk is of very good quality. Moving on, we are testing honey. So for that, we will soak the cotton in the honey with the help of the forceps. As we can see that the cotton is being fully covered with the honey. After that, we will turn on the flame and we heat the cotton swab. So if the honey burns with a crackling sound, that indicates that the honey is adulterated with the sugar. But in our sample, it does not burn with a crackling sound. So it indicates that the honey is of a very good quality. Moving on towards our next sample, which is turmeric powder. So to test whether it is contaminated or not, we will take the turmeric powder in the bowl and we will add few drops of toilet cleaner to it. So if it gives effervescence, it indicates that the chalk powder or the calcium carbonate or yellow soapstone is being present in the turmeric powder. This test also indicates that there is no dye being used to adulterate the turmeric powder. There are various kinds of dyes that are being used to adulterate the turmeric powder, like methanol yellow. Had methanol yellow been used, then the turmeric powder would turn into pink color. But in this case, there is no color change observed and there are no effervescence indicated. So that indicates that the turmeric powder is of very good quality and it is very pure. Our last sample is chili powder. So to test whether it is of good quality or not, we will take chili powder in the bowl. We will add water to it. After mixing it properly, we will see its texture by rubbing it between our fingers. If its texture is gritty, it indicates that the chili powder is adulterated with brick powder or sawdust. But in our sample, it was smooth in nature, so it indicates it's good in nature. This test also indicates that there are no dyes that are present in the chili powder. As a dye such as Sudan 1, Sudan 3 would instantaneously change the color of water to red. This indicates that the sample of chili powder is authentic in nature. Forensic chemistry is the application of chemical science and its subfield forensic toxicology in a legal setting. A forensic chemist can assist in the identification of the unknown materials found at a crime scene. Food forensics is also an emerging branch of forensic chemistry, which is used to test the food quality and safety by identifying the toxic chemicals, adulterants, dyes, colorants, foreign matter to authenticate the foodstuffs. Food adulteration is basically mixing, substituting or concealing identity of the harmful chemicals to the foodstuff by the black marketers, hoarders, etc. Adulteration and misbranding are offences under the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act and IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. Police are often called upon to investigate the offences under the Food Adulteration Act. Knowledge of adulteration practices in the food and foodstuffs is necessary to enable the investigating officer to seize the adulterated foodstuff and refer them to the laboratory for analysis. Hello. So here we are examining the currency note of 500 rupees, and also we are going to examine the passport. For that, I am telling my mom that how do we examine the currency notes. So first we'll start with the front note. Okay. So let's get started. This you can see. Just touch these lines. Just touch these lines. These are called as bleed lines. Okay. So bleed lines are basically used. These are basically intaglio printed, and they are basically used to blind people so that they can see that it is a 500 rupees note. Okay. Also here, what we can see that here is the latent image of rupees 500. It's when we examine it, then it shows that it is written rupee 500 in that. Here you can see in Devanagari script it is written 500. Right. What is the color of this note? This is greenish in color. Right. Then we have this Mahatma Gandhi portrait. Right. We can see that the serial number of this currency note is basically increasing. Right. We can see that the serial number of this note is basically increasing. It's from starting with a small number, it's getting bigger and bigger. Right. Then we can see that it's written RBI. Right. And there's a stamp of RBI in that, and the governor's signatures is also there. When we examine, when we see the note, when we tilt the note, you can see that the color of the silver wire, it changes from blue to green. So we have seen the silver wire color, okay, and then we examine it from the back, okay. In the back, what we can see is that there is a language panel over here, okay. There are 14 languages
15
that are written in the language panel. Then we have the Swachh Bharat logo, okay. Again, there is written in the Devanagari script as well as in English, rupees 500. Reserve Bank of India is also there. Here there is a emblem, there is a motif of Red Fort over here, and we can also see that there is an image panel right down there. Okay, just in down the motif of the Red Fort, we can see the image panel. Okay, so that is how we can examine the 500 rupees note in the visible light examination. Now let's check it in the oblique light. The thing is, I am taking my torch light, and then Mahatma Gandhi's portrait we can see over here. Right, in the oblique light we can see the Mahatma Gandhi's portrait. Also we can see 500 just below, just right of the Mahatma Gandhi's portrait. We can see that there are some bands. You can see that there are some bands.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then in the silver wire it's written RBI Bharat, RBI Bharat. Yeah. So that is indicating that this note is a original. Okay, it's not forged. Now next we move on to our passport examination. We will see the front page. This is of which color? This is of navy blue. Let's try to examine this passport. This when we examine this page in UV light, then we can see various things. But here we are not having some UV light, so we can examine it in the oblique light itself only. In the oblique light, can you see the Ashok Chakra? Ashok Chakra in that. Yes. So that is oblique light examination that we are trying to examine. Here we are moving on to the biographical data page. Now this page is called as a biographical data page. Now here it's having the image of the holder. Okay, the name and all is written. It's common. Then when we can see that the ghost image is there. This image is called as the ghost image. Okay, in this ghost image, what is there? It's written it's my passport only. So it's written Nandini Gupta, Kamlesh Gupta, like my date of birth. So all the data is being encrypted in this form, and this image is called as ghost image. So that indicates that the passport is original. Now, when we move on to the first page of this passport, we can see that there are some. Again, we can see the emblem, right? And we can see the chakra also there, right?
Yes.
Then here we can examine some die cuts. So this cross that we are having, right? So when we examine it in the microscope, we can it's written in there that it's vis-a-vis, vis-a-vis, vis-a-vis. It's written like that, and this is called as die cut examination. Okay. Then we move on to the last page. Again, in the last page, we can see that both these pages are laminated one. So these laminated sheets, it consists of the polycarbonate sheet, and it's very hard. It makes the passport very tough material. Okay, and it's very difficult to forge this thing. Okay, the passport. Then we can see the Gothic numbering in that. The number that is written na, the number it is called as the Gothic numbering. Okay, so my passport number is being perforated. The dots, the numbers are being perforated on this passport. So that indicates the Gothic numbering of the passport. So here we are done with the passport example.
Thank you for that.
Documents that are of high value and high integrity are called as security documents. The need for incorporating the security features in the document is basically to enhance the authenticity of the document and also to prevent the counterfeiting of the document. The examination of the security document is basically carried out in 3 phases. The first phase being the detection phase, second assessment, third specialist. So under the detection level, what we do is we basically examine the visible light features that are present in the security document. And this examination is basically carried out without using sophisticated instruments, or we use basically minimal instruments, and it is carried out in the visible light or the oblique light. So if some forgery is detected under this level, we move on to the next level of our examination, that is assessment level. In the assessment level, we use very simple instruments like magnifying glass, UV light source, VSC, etc. And this is the phase that this phase of detection or this phase of examination, it basically detects the difference between the original and the forged document. But sometimes this level of examination is also not sufficient to determine the authenticity of the document. So the forensic examiner has to basically move on to the third phase of examination, that is called as the specialist level of examination. In the specialist level of examination, various sophisticated instruments like VSC, ESDA, stereo microscopy, etc. are being used to determine the quality of the security ink and the printing ink. Education that can be applied in your daily life is education worth learning. Forensic science is a field full of mysteries, and it is utilized to prove the guilt and exonerate the innocent from the shackles of bars. So do you now see the detective rising in you? Are you basically interested in crime scene or solving the mysteries, solving the puzzles, or you are interested in the forensic science, food forensics, or you are interested in forensic toxicology? There are various branches of forensic science. So you can join this journey full of mystery, full of crime scenes, full of crime solving, full of adventure. If you feel that this field is very interesting, it's very gripping, then just hit the like button of the video and don't forget to comment on the video.